Hi folks, Higbee Threads. We finally figured out how to program them in Fusion 360 and how to set up the tools in your machine to cut a Higbee thread. There are some tips and tricks on how to get it going. And if you don't know what a Higbee thread is, it's a really cool way of automatically deburring the first portion of your thread that often is a sharp point. Doing so makes a nicer looking product, prevents you from cutting yourself, and especially on smaller pitched threads, can prevent you from cross threading it. Let's dive in. We've got a 3/4 inch piece of 4140 in there. We're only going to use 3 different tools. We're going to face off the part, rough it, finish profile it, cut our relief groove, then we're going to thread it, then we're going to do the Higbee. I'll come back to show how simple it is to program that, but also how you have to cheat a little bit in Fusion to get it to work. We're going to then do a cleanup thread, one last finish profile to do a quick deburr, and then a part. We're going to run this first one with the coolant off so that you can see it, but then we're going to run another one with the coolant on to get the right kind of finishes that you'd be looking for. We're using NC Programs. If you're not familiar with NC Programs, card here to the NYC CNC page. They are awesome because they let us pre-select certain batches of operations. We can choose our post-processor, choose the settings for that post-processor, and here's a mapped network drive. That is the Path Pilot control. We've got this on the internet. So when I want to post this program as we've been testing it, I've got 3 different batches. I've got up to the Higbee, that lets me run the first group of operations. And then I've got the Higbee and the cleanup. I can take a look and then part it off. And then watch this. As soon as I click yes to post this, the control is going to pop up and say, you have a new program. Would you like to overwrite it or reload it? Click OK. So we've still got a somewhat of a sharp point. Now the front edge chamfer in our CAD model helps with that somewhat, but watch what happens after we run the Higbee. It has taken the first thread and it has flattened that thread out. In this case, using a WNMG insert. There's 2 different common tools that you can use for a Higbee. A CNMG, because it's got a relatively flat or nearly flat lead angle, or more commonly would be a grooving tool. You want to make sure your grooving tool is rigidly held enough, and sometimes if your grooving tool or a parting tool is in a longer blade, you're going to be better off with something that's shorter and rigid, in this case the CNMG. But what you're doing is you're offsetting the threading tool path to change the presentation of the encoder counts or how it's cutting that thread, and you're doing that by half the thickness of your turning insert. So here is our Sandvik threading insert. So let's take a look at how we program this. So I pulled that up on the Sandvik website, and this value of PDX, this is what we need. It's the distance between the leading edge of the insert and the crest of the threading tip. Let's walk through how we create the Higbee operation. We'll start by looking at the threading operation. We're using tool number 7 to do outside threading. We're cutting a 1/2-13 thread, so I've got the thread depth and the thread pitch set correctly. And the key for the Higbee is taking a look at this front side stock offset value. It's currently 0.1 inches. To create the Higbee, I'm going to right click and choose duplicate. I'll name this Higbee video. We'll edit this operation. And the first thing we're going to do is the most important thing for turning this into a Higbee thread, which is we're going to adjust the front side stock offset value by adding to it that PDX value, 0.039. The backside offset, we will set it to be 1 divided by 13. That's 1 thread pitch, but we'll apply the backside stock offset from the front. Click OK. Now there's one more thing we've got to do, which is that we need to cut our Higbee with our WNMG, CNMG, or our grooving tool, but unfortunately Fusion's not going to let you do that. If we say choose a grooving tool, click OK, Fusion says toolpath is not supported. Now my hope is that will get fixed and you won't have to do what I'm about to show you. But the trick to fix this is in your tool library. Tool number 7 is our threading tool. So Fusion is happy to accept that as the tool when we're cutting threads, in this case the Higbee. Tool number 1 is that WNMG that we're going to use to actually cut the Higbee. The trick here is we're going to right click on tool number 7, duplicate it, right click, renumber it, and just renumber it to tool number 1. So what we've done is we've lied to Fusion. We've created this tool number 1. Fusion thinks it's a threading tool, but out on our turret on the Slant Pro, it's actually our WNMG. The world is now at peace again. And finally, we don't need nearly as many step downs. I will do it in 3. Click OK. We'll choose that newly made tool number 1. Again, Fusion thinks it's a threading tool. Unfortunately, that's what's going to show up in simulation, but you and I both know it's actually that WNMG. So you're not going to get an accurate simulation, but we've done this on a few different thread pitches and a few different machines, and it actually works. This is the formula that you need, and it's just that simple. It's a great thing to set up as a template or a Lathe master card here to the page where we talk about how we program those templates so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel each time. And all you got to do, again, is increase the front side stock offset. Let's go run this again with coolant on and get a look at what those finishes look like. Now, if you Google Higbee thread, what you might see is something that actually looks a bit different, like this. That is a Higbee thread, but it's done in a different manner. It generally would require axial live tooling, where you would come in after you cut the thread and actually use an axial end mill to roll the end mill along the first part of that thread, and the ski slope, that Higbee portion of it, where it ends, actually comes from the radius of the end mill itself. Threaded, but no Higbee. Okay, awesome. Thread goes on. But now let's add our Higbee. There we go. As always, folks, hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed. If you're having any problems with this, the other thing to double check is make sure you've got the correct Z height for both the threading tool and the tool that you're using for the Higbee. They both need to be correctly set in PathPilot. That would mean when you come in and do your touch Z offset against a datum or a face that they are correct, because that's how this works. And if you have, say, 15 or 20 thou difference between the two, you're not going to get the correct engagement or location when you go to flatten out that first thread. Otherwise, take care, folks. See you soon.